Can I help you?
He's so needy.
Welcome back to another episode of Only Friends. Episode 10, Adam.
10, we are coming in.
Racing.
We are coming in for a
landing.
This is a pilot speaking to floor. We are of clear skies, but 78 degrees here.
I truly felt really tired the last couple episodes, and the way I was rejuvenated, refreshed,
Tired in what way? Are you don't like the show?
I was just it felt like it was just you lost your mind, Friedrich. The circumstances kept just stretching out and stretching out and stretching out. That I was like, I'm ready for this to resolve now. And the way Boeing just comes in, flies in.
One of our viewers is messaging me about Monster High dolls. And you know who you are. Boeing. So he really rejuvenated.
I think it just brought wind. Yes, it just brought a fresh air to the show. Group. No.
What's going on today?
Got to stop.
Frustrating because you're watching a lot of people make really bad decisions.
Yes.
And now that it's come to a head, it's not
Friedrich
fun in the same way anymore. Friedrich, come here.
He doesn't like you, girl. He said, get me away from that F.
Why are you looking at me like that?
He's like...
Boeing is a good addition, I think. I do think it's like delaying the ending a bit. I feel like we probably could have wrapped up this episode, but it's fine. The show can't wrap up without Sand and Ray wrapping up, and that's why near resolved yet.
No.
I do think if the show didn't have Sand and Ray, TopMew could have been done already. Like, I feel like it could have been, maybe another episode could have been like, now you see them being okay. Boston and Nick. See, we were delusional. You and I were like, well, that's result. Last episode, we were like, and that's it for them.
They've just grown and they've learned their lessons, and he's on to New York.
Yes, and Miss Girls with Daddy Dan, and we're all living better lives for it. Boeing is only here to cuddle because Top
can't sleep alone.
He can't sleep alone.
He can't sleep alone.
And Mew is like, so of all the people in the world, you asked your ex to come over? Now, Mew, you're not dating?
Yeah, so this was the thing. Like, he came back and it was like,
he's ready to forgive and forget.
He's ready to forgive and forget. So this circumstance obviously makes that difficult. But then he was like mad that like, but why is it your ex? It could be someone he's dating right now. Or I don't know. Like, it could be like...
The worst case scenario is it's Boston.
It's Boston, but it's not.
But it's not Boston.
This was the thing that I was going to sad. What's in it for Boeing? Because I don't...
He's a chaos agent, for sure.
I don't think I get a vibe from him that he actually wants Top back.
No, I don't think so.
So it's very interesting for him to be like, yeah, I'll keep coming over and we can sleep.
So they're trying to set two things up at once, and it's a little bit, it doesn't mesh totally.
Yeah.
Because Boeing simultaneously has to be the person that would be okay with coming over because Top needs someone to cuddle him to go to sleep.
But
he also has to be a person that later in the episode wants to revenge. To
enact
revenge on Top to get with Mew.
Yeah.
And I think those two things are in conflict. Because it's such a vulnerable thing for Top to need him.
Absolutely.
It would be one thing if he was like just hanging out purely. Hey, like I'm not even saying
sleeping.
Yeah, just purely hanging out.
And it's like, what are we doing? Because from what we know, Top quote unquote stole Boeing from Sand. And then they had a relationship that just went on for 3 months.
Can I have a sip of water? I had crackers and now my mouth is really dry. Thank you. I have been in a 3-month relationship, and I definitely at first I was like upset when it ended.
Yeah.
But then I was like, it was a 3-month relation. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, but also I am not.
It wasn't Top.
I wasn't someone who looked like Top. And in fact, the establishment that they were doing a nighttime gig at.
Yes, let's say that.
A go-go gig.
Yes, a golden go-go.
A
gig.
golden go-go gig.
Yeah.
He was let go after a probationary period because he was not up to top standards.
Yeah. And let's say
Well,
that.
let's say that. I could never be a go-go boy. So who am I making fun of? Sand wants Ray to go to rehab. Sand comes over.
Just like the Ampliverse does.
You thought it was You thought it was Ray's dad that paid? No.
No, the
Honey,
Ampliverse
we did. We said,
Honey.
Get thee to a nunnery. Ray is convinced he's not addicted, which I will say, I think that's what people who are addicted usually say when confronted with their own addiction. So we're right out of the cliche playbook. I have watched enough Intervention to know that that is the exact line that all of them say. I could stop whenever I wanted to. Well, then, baby, want to. Because you should want to. Your life is devolving. I wrote the note. Wait, let me think about why I wrote this. I wrote the note, brunch is interesting.
Because...
Who went to brunch?
No, because Boeing is like, well, Mew, since you're here, why don't you stay? I made food for Top, but there's enough for you, too.
Yes.
And so they have brunch.
He made Top's favorite food.
It just doesn't feel... I don't get the feeling that he wants to get back with Top. So it feels very weird that his actions...
Can I say what it is? He's not a real character. He's purely there to
mix it up.
To stir things up.
To stir the pot.
Which, you know what?
That's what I love about it.
This is classic.
Yeah.
This is a soap opera character. Yeah. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. It is just funny because I feel like the show is a melodrama.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's not. But the show has tried to be more realistic.
Grounded. Yeah.
And this character is like not
yeah.
at all. It's a pure villain arc, which is fun.
I almost wish that it came a little bit more organically. I'm having fun. He's not a real threat.
It's not a real threat,
but
it's see the end coming a mile away that it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But he is
he's up there. He is up. I think I'm more attracted to him.
If it's up, then it's up. You know what I mean?
Then it's stuck.
Gripped.
Make sure it sticks.
We're moving on.
I think he's the one that I'm most attracted to in this entire cast.
Just purely physically or the whole package?
I think the whole package. Because in his scenes, it starts here at brunch and then it further develops. He's so cunty in this role.
It's
very like... mean gay.
He is playing mean gay.
He's the
two guys.
He's the two mean gays.
Yeah.
But he's not being a mean gay.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
It's he is having fun mixing it up.
Yes.
He's not mixing it up like Boston because he's insecure and doesn't have self-confidence.
Totally.
He's not mixing it up like Ray because people are just toys to him and because he doesn't have anything tangible in his life. I could tell that Boeing is having fun and he's just like, life is boring. Why not? Because I think he sees how weird and stupid it is.
So do you mean Boeing the character or who is the hottest actor in the show?
Who am I most attracted to?
Who are you most attracted to physically on the show?
I think it's Mond.
Wow.
I think so. Force is attractive.
And grass is green. And water is wet.
That Mond feels a little bit more fun. Like a fun alternative.
Mond is approachable hot.
He could look Filipino.
I think he looks a little Filipino.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask me or you don't care?
No, I don't. Okay. Because you're going to say Mark.
I just wanted to say it. That's all.
Even as you're watching two of his shows right now.
Mark, if you see this, I love you.
Well, speaking of Mark.
Speaking Speaking of Mark, Mark is working late at the office at his animation job. Daddy Dan comes over and apologizes for the kiss from the other night. And Mark's like, do you think I didn't like it?
Yeah, he's like, you don't have to. I mean, it's cool that we can just like kiss, maybe even like fuck, and that's like totally fine. Like it's just casual. He's trying so hard to be like, well, I'm going to take what I learned from Boston and just like apply it in this next challenge.
He does. I think he did have a line where he was like, because you're inevitably going to like leave me anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the trauma's talking.
Oh, Nick.
But Daddy Dan is like, can I be blunt?
I really would like you to just not say what you're going to say and rephrase it.
Who, me?
Yes.
No, I'm speaking as Daddy Dan.
No, I know.
Daddy
but you're
Dan said it. No, but this is what he said in the show. Daddy Dan was like, well, can I really be honest? And I could tell that you just probably haven't been fucked the way
on the show. But that is what I'm trying to tell you.
He's like,
rephrase it. Okay. We have youths watching this. Fine. 20-year-olds watch this.
He was like, can I be blunt? Okay. I just feel like no one...
Can I be Emily?
Can I be...
Blunt? Sorry.
And I'm not the person that'll just like leave.
Sure.
I'll make sure you're taken care of. You know, like a caring alpha, you could say.
And aftercare.
Aftercare is very important.
Very important, sure.
And
that is what he said.
Yes.
And then
it's so crazy. At work.
On the conference room table. First of all, Daddy Dan takes his shirt off. That's all we need to say. And I'm counting this as hookup
13.
13. Okay, great. Hookup 13. Congratulations to everybody involved.
We're back!
Ray is like, here's the thing. I'll go to rehab if you meet your dad.
Crazy, because it pads it out to ultimately, like, later, like, what happens to them, right?
And I almost later,
it happens so fast.
Some of the best dramatic work is in this episode.
Yeah.
There are some incredible performances in this episode. Coming from
these
First and Cow.
Yeah. So
the first half of this episode is pointless
for them.
Except that it sets up that he goes to therapy. That's the only thing that happens. The whole Sand meeting his dad thing is stupid.
I didn't need it.
It's dumb.
It's clearly a distraction.
Unless it comes back, but there is nothing that this show has proven that he needs to meet his father in order to like be a whole person or whatever.
Yep.
He's not like cried about. He's not like, I'm less of a man. Like, you know, I just like this show hasn't gone to any lengths to make that Sand's narrative. So if in the next 2 episodes he like goes and meets his father, like fine, but like you haven't set that up. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Because I'm sure if he does, the dad's going to be like, well, are you living a good life? Do you have people that you love? And it's going to be like a flashback. He's like, and it's going to be like Ray, because at the end of this episode, they are not talking.
Girl, it's not, we're in a very bad spot.
Very bad place.
So now we're going to talk about other people that are in bad spots. Adam is at the restaurant.
Someone left a comment 2 days ago that was like, if you feel this way about Adam, because in the last episode we were like, who cares? No one. No one cares.
Adam's inconsequential.
Yes. They were like, just wait for the next episode. Adam is sulking.
Oh my God.
And Shum is like, what is going on with you, girl? Is it your girlfriend? And he's like, no, it's not that.
It's your friend.
It's your friend. And she's like, well, what's wrong? And he says, he tricked me into sleeping with him and is now blackmailing me that he's going to
nude photos
because he took my photos and he's going to share them.
To sleep with him again. Even though I didn't want to. Because I was drunk after the party. What? So Shum's livid.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And believes her brother.
Obviously. Believe victims.
And then right at the end, he has like a very satisfied look in his face.
Shimray and Mew go to confront Boston.
Yes.
Who is busy taking photos
of a nude boy. So it's like...
Fine.
It just doesn't... It's not helping him.
Shim slaps him. They basically are like, we don't want to be friends with you. You're off the project. Blah, 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 blah. So that's fun. Boston has lost all of his friends.
Only friends?
We need to set that up for later.
Nunly friends.
Nunya friends.
Nunya friends. And even Mew at the end was like, well, guy, you did it. You wanted to ruin your life and you did it.
Good job. I don't...
What are your thoughts
Oh my God.
It's very complicated,
it's
right?
So complicated.
It's hard.
First of all, that's such a insane...
From Adam to say that is so insane.
Story-wise, it comes out of nowhere. Because like they've really only established Adam in the last episode.
Because the thing is, even when Shum confronts him and Boston like tells the truth and shows the pictures, even Shum is like, I guess it doesn't really even matter who does what or whatever. It's still my brother.
Yeah, I mean, we disagreed with that last episode. We did not know that this is where it was.
I just didn't know that there was going to be...
We know, data-wise, that people who lie about sexual assault are in the minority.
Yes.
That there is mostly... It is unreported sexual assault, and when it is reported, that still outweighs the number of misrepresented sexual assault.
I do feel like Adam will get a comeuppance of some kind.
They had to... The story had to put Boston in his lowest possible space.
Place.
Because they were going to do it with Mew, but then you break Mew as a character if you show him the video. So you can't really ruin Mew's character in order to sink Boston to that level. So you need an external character.
That will go.
So Adam, I guess. But then, like, why is Adam this... It's a lot. There was a lot of decisions made here. And it gets them to narratively the point that they need to get Boston to in order to set up the next couple episodes with Nick. But I think there had been a better way to do it. I do think it was interesting the moment where Boston is like, I would never blackmail someone to have sex with me. And then Mew's like, and he's like, oh, well. It's wild. Top comes over. He's Mew's at the pool at the project house. And he basically is like, you still love me.
Yes.
Or no, he's like, I still love you.
And this is why this sucks.
But I also hate you.
So these are like my ultimatums. Like, we're nothing shady. You're going to be honest.
And if not,
then I'm the fool.
See me again.
Yes. And Top's like, okay, fine. And then Mew pushes him in the pool, which I saw coming.
The pool has gotten a lot of work.
Yeah.
They've gotten a lot of scenes out of the pool.
Oh yeah, the pool in this fucking wakeboard resort.
The pool is the real Chekhov's gun of the show.
Yeah,
you just know somebody's gonna get pushed in a pool. So they go to play trivia. They're playing the Capitals game. Are you good at Country Capitals?
I used to.
I feel like we don't really learn them in America.
No. We stop. I think I got up to South America in 8th grade.
Can we talk about the Thai name for Bangkok?
I know. And during the reaction, we had to pause and look it up because Adam couldn't believe it.
I could not
I saw the question and I was like, oh, Adam, you're going to want to look at this because he was writing notes. And it kept going because the setup is that Boeing comes and he's like, oh, I'll play in your pub trivia team. And just kept one-upping Mew.
Top doesn't know any of them. Top's dumb.
And let's keep him that way.
Mew knows some and then Boeing knows others.
Yes.
So
because Mew's, I didn't realize that Mew's whole thing is like he's an honor student, remember?
Yes.
It's just building up, right? Like there's some animosity.
They're in competition.
But it's
to set up they're in competition with each other because then later they're going to be like, oh, just kidding. It's actually he wants to get with you. This leads us to after trivia. Mew is snooping on his Insta.
This is
likes a photo.
This is probably one of my favorite scenes.
This is so funny
because it's so funny. It happens all the time, but it's he getting the reply. He accidentally likes a photo of him and his monstera plant, and I know that because of Animal Crossing. And Boeing DMs him and was like, "LOL, you're snooping on my Instagram." Yeah, he goes. Napi bobetao, bobeti, bobetao. And Mew's like, no, I just really like plants. And Boeing's like, yeah, I know, I'm snooping on your Insta right now, actually.
Yeah,
and
I like
saw
that
you love
Boeing
plants.
is like kind of being
Yeah, he's like, yeah, girl, I know.
out and open about it's very funny.
Yes.
Nick's at one of his many jobs.
Yes.
Nick has as many jobs as Sand.
Yeah.
Nick is making graphic design. Nick is doing animation.
Well,
Nick is working
technically,
for his dad.
both graphic designs are, I think, pro bono. I don't think he was getting paid from the campaign or this group project.
Right. I don't even know if he's getting paid from this internship.
From his internship.
And probably not from his dad either. So Daddy Dan comes and visits Nick at work.
At
and
his store.
we meet Nick's dad.
We meet Nick's dad, and he's very adorable.
Very cute.
And Daddy Dan.
Who's Daddy Dan? Who's Daddy Dan?
He tries to kiss him, but then there's a customer that comes in.
Fine.
And then Nick goes, a customer!
I hate you've done this too many times. So he leaves, and as he's leaving, Boston comes in.
And he's
again, at his lowest point. He's lost all his friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs a new phone case and a new screen protector. And he has Nick walk him down. And then when Nick takes his phone, he sees that he's changed the background
to his little
boudoir photo.
Oh, this.
Enough. Subjectively, as Nick, I'd be like, yeah, this worked.
Yeah,
You-
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish Nick was like swipe up and see what other backgrounds there are to be like,
yeah.
you knew I was coming.
Oh, it's just
so
a
it's just-
bunch. Yeah. Does Boston deserve a redemption?
Everyone does.
Has Boston learned his lesson? I think is the real question I'm asking.
I don't want to put it on Nick, but unfortunately, I think it's going to come when they are either going to be in this relationship together. And I think Nick feels comfortable now to be like, Boston, you have to do this, this, and this.
What does Boston need? I mean, but
what does he have to do? What is true?
right. Go to therapy.
That's the answer for everyone.
Yeah.
I think, since we are the experts, he needs to find worth in himself in other ways.
Yeah.
Because in the revelation later, right, when Nick sees him, he asks him, like, why do I keep hurting the people that I care about?
Yeah.
Why do I want to keep... why does he have the impulse to blow things up? Mm-hmm. You say it's attention.
But who is he not getting attention from?
Papa.
And Mama.
Oh, because Papa and Mama do not live together.
Yeah. Top sets this boundary with Boeing while they're hanging out at his house, and he's like, girl.
Well, first of all, okay, so this was the thing. I don't have a problem with Boeing. Like, he's my ex, but I don't feel anything for him anymore. So we can be friends. It's not you I don't... I also don't trust this now new person.
Right.
Who's here all the time.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's that disconnect with Top of, like, because he is a person that has everything, I don't think about it, so then it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, it feels very one-sided from him. I mean, I'm glad that he says this to Boeing of like, look, we have to set a boundary. I want to be friends with me. I want to make it better with Mew now, so we can't see each other anymore, even as friends, even for a little bit.
Mew and I are in game.
Yeah. So then is this the reason why Boeing wants to exact revenge?
So what is the revenge, though? Because I don't think he's actually interested in Mew. I think that's a nice little story he's concocted, but I do not believe it at all in any way, shape, or form. I think he is jealous that Mew could...
tame the beast.
Sure. Because he holds the record.
He holds the record.
Yeah. Ray goes to therapy. He jokes that he's addicted to sand. But sand is an okay addiction to have. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. He's basically
very charming.
For someone who gets away with a lot of things because he uses his charm, Cal really gets that about this character.
100%. I think of all 6 of them, the main 6 boys, I think it would have to be Cal that plays this part. Because I think he has a very natural... I think Neo has this too, actually. A very natural charisma that comes out.
I could see Boston, take this... I could see if the character of Boston could have this angle about him of, getting away with a lot.
Yeah.
Because of his natural charm.
Yeah. So Boeing goes over to Muse. Boeing's like, here's the thing, girl. I'm into you. Miss ma'am.
First of all, the fact that Mew lets Boeing come over.
What's happening? Because during the Instagram story, he was like, we should hang out.
Just
look at plants.
Look at plants together.
Girl, look at plants out on the out of doors.
Because I don't think Mew has a thing for Boeing.
I don't think Mew has a thing for Boeing. I definitely don't think he trusts him. They definitely kiss at one point, and there's no chemistry, really.
No. I mean, what are 2 bottoms going to do? Well, maybe that's Boeing's thing. He's like, I'm tired of getting fucked. I'm going to fuck you. We love a cunty top.
Femtop.
Femtops.
He's not femme. None of the characters in this are femme.
None of these gays are femme.
No, girl.
No, because the femme ones are at...
side characters in Bedfriend. Yes. The co-workers.
Yeah, and they don't even appear in Middleman's.
No. Be lucky that we are not talking about Middleman's Love. Feel grateful.
Look, he tunes in every week.
I do. I watch it every week. Shouldn't Top learn his lesson? That's the goal. Shouldn't Top learn his lesson?
Shouldn't Top learn his lesson? Funny because he lets the kiss happen. It's like, no.
There's a way to stop a kiss actually before it happens.
You see it. He's literally coming
toward
in.
you.
Yeah. But we got to do that for the...
We got to do it for the girls. We got to do it so that when you scrub over, it says most replayed.
Most replayed, and it's that.
Because I think this is technically Mon's first kiss.
Oh, first boy kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, if we can't get together, shouldn't we at least make Top miserable a little bit?
So they enact this plot. Blah, 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 blah.
But we don't know the plot. They just it looks like Mew just agrees.
We don't know the plot.
What is this, Playboy? Because we don't know the plot.
Ray has poured himself a drink to start his day. Some people wake and bake. Some people get up and have
a coffee.
Have a whiskey.
Yeah.
And then he realizes what he's done, so he starts throwing all his bottles away. If you want to you gotta dump it down the drain.
Dump it down.
Because I know you'll go back. You'll just pull it out of the... hello. But this man also has money, so he'll just go out and buy some if he really wants some.
He walks down these giant stairs, to which Adam was like...
Never seen before on this show.
Okay, King.
He walks down the staircase, and he encounters his dad giving money to Sand. And so he accurately deduces that his dad has paid Sand to get him to agree to go to therapy.
To rehab,
I'm sorry. Rehab specifically.
After Mew's birthday, there was that little scene where his dad tells Sand, can you help me with one thing? And
this is what it was. Ray goes to Sand's house later and confronts him. And I'm going to say right now, I will be very shocked if this is usurped, but I think this is the best dramatic scene in the show.
Yeah.
I think these are 2 very skilled actors giving this very dramatic scene a lot of weight and heft and approaching it realistically. Both of them are crying. I'm a sympathy crier, so I also started crying. And I want to emphasize that first in this, once Ray leaves and he breaks down because he It's the realization
that
of like, I am
I did
trying
more-
to help,
But I did more hurt.
but I did more harm than good.
Yeah.
And it is so visceral. And you watch his, I mean, like, it feels like you watch his heartbreak.
Yeah.
It is a stunning performance.
Yeah.
Truly from both of them, but like specifically first. And then he smashes the bottle. Because Ray points
says
out,
it.
he's like, you're making alcohol. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go to rehab, but we're going to be together? And then you're just going to
you're going to keep making money off of this? Yeah.
It sucks because you still need to go to rehab. Whether or not someone is paid to tell you to go to rehab or not, you still need to go to rehab. This doesn't absolve you of needing to be good. The problem is that it's that Ray feels like no one cares about him. And so the first time he feels that someone has cared about him enough to really want this for him,
He was paid
want
to
the
do
best
it.
for him, it was not genuine.
Yeah.
This is just to reiterate a very incredibly performed performance. They're so good. It's chef's kiss. TopMew go wakeboarding. Mew has invited Boeing to be Messiata, Floppiata, Messiata.
I know, because it's like, oh, hey, Boeing. And Top is gooped and gagged. Like,
Two bottoms have come together to maximize their joint slay.
Their joint slay.
Top confronts Boeing in the shower. The same shower that Boston confronted Top in.
Yeah. And Boeing
in
is
what almost is a very similar conversation because Boston is
like, what are you doing?
Boston is like, why are you trying to get with Mew?
Yeah.
Partly because he was like, I'm better than Mew,
Yes.
but also partly because he was like, you've never lasted with anything longer than 3 months. Why are you stringing my friend along?
Yeah.
And now it's Top
why are you
being
here?
like, what's happening?
Are you convincing Mew that like you want to be friends so that way you can get revenge on me?
He has to deduce that really quickly.
Yeah.
He says it started that way, but he has actually developed feelings for Mew.
I don't really fully believe that, but whatever, it's funny.
He developed feelings for me because he deserves someone who isn't a piece of shit like Top is. Guess I'll die.
It's like get $1 or accept that Top and Mew
Give me
are
the dollar.
a healthy relationship.
Give me the $1.
Give me the $1.
Nick happens upon Boston.
It looks. I couldn't tell where it is. I was like, is this the balcony of your
It's
home?
a little inorganic,
Where are you?
whatever. Nick and Boston are together outside drinking, and they are having a heart to heart.
They're having a heart to heart because Boston is like, what do you even see in me? Truly.
It's a valid question.
Valid question. It's like you genuinely want to be cared for.
Nick sees through it.
Nick sees through it.
And that's why he likes Boston so much.
Which is so crazy because we just kept being like, oh, it's stigmatized, it's stigmatized, it's stigmatized. I still think that's where it starts from. The excitement of it, the thrill of that.
Yeah, he definitely didn't know at first.
Yeah. But I think obviously by being with him, seeing like, oh, the urge to, like, you can see it in Boston, like the urge to be like, oh, I'm about to ruin someone's life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Nick is, but then it's like, I don't know. Should we be romanticizing wanting to change men like that? I don't know. Because in one hand, I do feel for Boston a lot. Now that I'm seeing it, like, I want Boston to have a redemption at the end of the show.
It would be nice. I hope he gets one. That would be nice.
But there's
But
still something that I feel conflicted on. But I will say Nick is doing an amazing job making you believe that, like, he really cares for.
I am 100% believe that he is in love with Boston.
Yeah, totally.
And that's why he's been such a strong character to root for on the show, because it's been so clear. Even when he's made mistakes, it's very clear that he is just trying to do his best and like wants to be with the person that he really like loves.
Yeah.
Obviously his methodology has not been ideal. To err is to be human.
Oh. And I think Shakespeare wrote that.
Nick's performance in this scene is really great.
Yes.
Neo's really good too, but Nick is really
Because
great
at the end, Boston is like, well, I miss you. I really do miss you.
Yeah, he tells him he misses him.
And Nick just erupts. And he's like, you don't know how much I've missed you.
Mark is a very good actor, and I really hope that he is afforded a lot more opportunities in 2024.
I agree.
Because I think he has really shown the breadth of his skills this year in 2023.
They make love.
They do. It's true. They do.
Lucky number...
This is like the third make love.
Yeah.
The third hookup
14.
that's actually making love.
Yeah.
Ray's dad tells Ray that Sand returned the money. And he kind of just is like, here's the deal.
This is what happened.
This is what happened.
He didn't want to do it. And this was the thing. He was like, he really cares about you. He found all of the rehab centers. He found the one. And I was like, sir, you should be doing this work. Your son.
God. Because we're supposed to watch the scene and be like, wow,
his
what a
dad
great
really
guy.
cares for him.
No, what a great guy Sand is.
Yeah.
And true. That is the first takeaway. The second takeaway I had was, what a shit father you are. That you can't even like, it would be one thing if you had tried so much. And of course, we haven't seen everything that's gone on.
Yes,
but
nothing truly has worked.
Nothing, right. It would be one thing. It does not feel that is the relationship that they had.
No.
He just is like, oh, he won't listen to me. So now you need to like tell him to go to rehab.
I've been yelling at him.
And also, I'm not even going to tell you what rehabs, like
just
do
get
the
him,
research.
get me to a rehab. I will take the pay, but just from this amount for doing research for you.
Fathers must be stopped in 2024. We must leave fathers behind. Unless your father's great, then
unless your dad's great, which is great. But if they're not, who needs it?
So he goes back to therapy. And this scene is crazy.
Yes, Miss Bob is like Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob. Who or what you're doing this for, so that way you don't forget and will like be a source of strength for you throughout. So do you have someone or like that you're kind of doing this for? And he was like, yes, I have a friend.
So she has him close his eyes and
envision him in front of you and like tell this friend what you want for them to know as you do this. And
this is like this is how you use cinema. This is how you use film. This is how you make movies. I mean, it's the pan behind him, and then it switches to Sand.
Yep.
And Cow in this performance like breaks down and like is on his knees in front of Sand, like
basically like
begging.
It's all of it, right? It's like, thank you for actually seeing through me. I'm sorry that I like misjudged you or didn't even think that like, because it's like, I hate myself so much that I never thought that I would find someone who actually cares for me. It's like all of these things. It's a thank you. It's a I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, it was very powerful.
It's very impactful. It's so incredibly vulnerable. And he tells him he wants to quit drinking for him. Him. He tells Sand, who is not Sand. You understand.
Yes.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Because there is a thing of like, obviously you should do it for yourself. And Sand even says that many times to him. Like,
yeah.
Don't do this because it's a bet. Don't do this because I'm challenging you. Do it because you want to do it. And it's that realization of like, I want to do it for myself because I want to be with this person. Mm-hmm. And I want to be like my best self for this person.
Okay. I think Nick is still low.
Yeah.
I think Sand is low.
It doesn't feel like his threat levels has been affected by the revelation.
I know technically
for Ray. It's high, but
maybe we'll say Sand is guarded.
Yeah.
Mew,
I think Mew.
I don't know. I think I might move Mew back up to high
for playing along,
for teaming up with Boeing.
Yeah. Because even if it doesn't go any further than inviting him to go waterboarding, the fact that you invited him to go waterboarding.
Why is Mew playing the game? You did this in the
Yes.
first half of the show where you were like, let me set up these tests. And if he passed the tests,
We're back
that's not how this works. Relationships are not tests for people to like ace.
Yeah.
It's a very childish view of how you win someone's trust back.
Yeah.
You win someone's trust back through like daily, I don't know, just like being trustworthy.
Yeah.
There's not one thing that's like, oh, this is magically the solve.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the hardest part about the top Mew.
It's very frustrating. So Mew is back at high. Top, I'm moving down to elevated.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Boston,
I'm
going to give him a chance. I'm going to move him to high.
Okay.
Ray, oh God. It's frustrating because I'm not... he's going through so much. Ray is... Ray is in therapy, and Ray is going to rehab. So I'm moving him down to severe. He's out of the pit of hell.
Okay.
Do you know who's in the pit of hell? Adam. Adam's in the pit of hell. Adam is in the pit of hell. Dante's Inferno, bitch. And Boeing is severe. We're gonna add those two as well. Adam and Boeing are added to the list.
Still no women.
Still no women. Because women. Who is your MVP for the episode? Why do I have just a massive pair of breasts on my YouTube? Shout out to her.
2 years, because I'll pick the ones that you won't pick.
Mine is a 3-way tie.
Oh my God. It's a tie.
First, Khao and Mark are just. These are beautiful performances to watch in this episode. They're very raw. They're very vulnerable, and they're treated with real honesty. And I think especially Ray, Sand and First and Mark have an easier time of like being kind to the characters that they are portraying, because they are characters that are kind of having things happen to them from the ones they love. Mm-hmm. Khao as Ray has such a hard time because there are so many bad choices this character has made on the show. I just think it's very clear that First really has treated this character with a lot of respect.
Yeah.
In like a very loving way that I think this character deserves to be treated. I'm very impressed by these 3 performances from this episode. Yeah. And honestly, I thought Neo did well in his scene with Nick, and I thought I'm enjoying like I'm enjoying Force and Book too, with their kind of like less dramatic shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. I'll pick Mond. I said that Boeing's character is such a breath of fresh air because it feels like someone went in there and was like, let's mix this up.
Yeah.
Because my biggest thing about Boeing is that, he feels like he's going into it with the intentions of like, I want to have fun, as opposed to I'm trying to, I don't know how it'll pan out if he really does want to get with Top or Mew. It just feels like right now he's just like, let's do something crazy.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's good. He's a little cunty.
Yeah.
He has like a...
Yes. He went in there and was like, I can be a cunty. Because even in like his like back and forths with Mew, it's like, oh no, I don't want to get back with Top.
Yeah.
Like
his line delivery is very...
It's very good.
It's very funny.
It's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
So...
Good.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.